So Louisville police just releasing new video from the arrest of pro golfer Scottie Scheffler. He's accused of injuring a police officer after trying to drive around a crash while trying to get to the PGA Championship. Well, he faces felony charges, but attorney says Scheffler will plead not guilty. Our Morgan Norton.
Now, my mind is blown at how huge this story has become. And of course we know why, because Scottie Scheffler is a world-famous golfer. Because the truth matters. I am Leroy Truth. What about the thousands of men and women who get stopped unlawfully by police who are exercising not protection and serving in the Constitution, but exercising their egos? Now, at least this paints some light on possible lying by a police officer to cover his butt here. And we don't have video footage except what you see here because the police officer didn't have their body camera on. Was it on purpose? Was it not? Was it intentional? Was it not? Don't know at this point. But this is the type of attention that should be paid to every single man and woman who is not a world-famous professional golfer who has their rights violated up for felony charges. My perspective seems to be, from the information I've received, Scottie didn't do it, what the police officer is accusing him of. Felony charges obviously are extraordinarily serious. If he wasn't a famous golfer, bye-bye, with no video, this little tiny bit of video snippet wouldn't have even come out.
Has the latest. So, Morgan, what are we learning, first of all, from the new video that was released and also the police press conference this morning?
Yeah, Kira, I actually just finished going through both of those videos that were released just a couple of moments ago, going frame by frame. It's very hard to make out. We're looking at
Again, see on the upper area there, that's Scottie Scheffler's car with the brake lights on. And the police officer aggressively opens the door and attempts to get in the car or pull him out. It's bizarre. None of this escalation should have ever happened, and police have got to be trained in de-escalation techniques. That's got to be the first order of business. This guy is not posing a threat to anyone. Forget he's a famous golfer. He wasn't posing a threat to anyone, and he was driving slowly. It wasn't like he was driving recklessly, weaving in and out of accident victims here or crash victims.
Tower camera video. We will start there. It shows a little bit of the action. If you focus your attention to the top left-hand corner of your screen, just where the bus is clear, you can see the white gate there. That dark color SUV creeps in. That looks to be Scheffler. He's in a marked PGA vehicle. We know that from the police report. Looks as if he was going at a slow speed, but then you see an officer at one point.
Yeah, what's his head is like going in the freaking window. What is he trying to eat dog food out of a dog bowl in the driver's seat? Is he trying to kiss Scottie Scheffler, and he's in such awe of, like, oh, a world-famous golfer? No. Ego.
Reflective vest running towards the car. Appears to be a little bit of an exchange. Also appears that officer reaches into the SUV to pull Scheffler out. Seconds later, other police officers run in. Again, we have this video right here, and it's tough to make out what happened. But remember, the initial report from police is that the officer was dragged somewhat by Scheffler's vehicle. His pants ripped, suffered some bruising, and was taken to the hospital. I will say.
So giving charges, felony charges, that this detective had their jeans ripped and there's some possible injuries here. Where's the video? And it's so convenient there isn't video. Now, was the camera really off and this video disappeared?
I went frame by frame of that video there, and I did not see an officer being dragged in that video. Again, this is a focal point of...
Bingo. The little teeny-weeny bit of video we have, and we actually have a mainstream news reporter, surprise, surprise, Gomer Pyle, looks like they actually care about the truth here. She doesn't see anything that is described in that police report. And again, if it wasn't for him being famous, he would probably get locked up. Felony, assault against a police officer. What about felony lying about an American to cover your butt? That should be double or triple whatever the average man or woman would face in the same circumstances, because police officer lying is a big deal. They hold the power to basically influence a judge to accept charges, or a jury, grand jury, to accept charges, and based upon a police officer's testimony, which most jurors, unfortunately, take as gospel, godlike, biblical truth. Take a look at the Brady list. There's a hell of a lot of people on that Brady list, and the Brady list only encompasses or includes a fraction of police who have actually lied in the course of their duty.
The investigation, because without it, you essentially have the officer's word, the police department, against Scheffler, who maintains that this was a misunderstanding. We heard from his attorney shortly after that press conference announcing that that officer did not have his body camera on and will be facing some policy violations there. They say that they plan to take this all the way through trial, if not, if these charges are not dismissed, Kira.
Yeah, I think it's important to point out what you do see in this video, and it's...
See, they're not doing a plea bargain. Scottie Scheffler, he says he's innocent. I tend to believe him. And I'm not convinced that that video doesn't exist, but maybe it doesn't. I mean, if they're going to bring policy violation charges against the officer. And what are they going to do? Bad boy, bad boy, bad boy. It won't even be that. It'll be reprimand. You have been reprimanded. It will go into your file. Have a nice day. Carry on. It's a joke. Lying in the duty of their official capacity that they're engaged with there has to be criminal accountability here. If, in fact, it's found that he was lying, this officer. There's so many people who are in jail right now because an officer lied. And the jury believed them.
Showing a different story than what this officer had initially claimed. So we know now there's no body cam footage because, as you mentioned, the officer never turned it on, apparently. And now the Louisville police chief addressed it in his press conference. Let's take a listen.
Detective Gillis did not have his body-worn camera operationally ready as required by our policy. He was performing a law enforcement action as defined in our policy.
So the chief went on to see that the officer has received corrective action for not activating the camera, but...
What is that corrective action? Put it in the comments. I'm curious, what do you think it was? And what do you think it should have been? So put part 1 in your comment, part 2. What do you think the so-called corrective action was? Because he didn't have his body cam on, it wasn't ready to be turned on, or maybe the power was off or something, whatever the true story is, and what should happen? And in general, what should happen to this police officer?
What does that mean, and what do we know?
Yeah, what we know is that he was required to have that body camera on, and as the police chief laid out there, that was not the case. That is one part of the investigation. The other part is just to see where these charges go. Look, Scheffler is facing a felony in this case, and his attorneys have said that they are willing to fight this. But obviously, the body camera video would have been a huge focal point of this investigation and would have given us...
And there he is, going away in handcuffs instead of going to the tournament, going away in handcuffs. Now, question is, should he have cut around cars or something to get into the tournament? I don't know. We don't have footage of that. Was it just a short distance? Was it something that was reasonable? Was it unreasonable? I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
Clarity into exactly what happened here. And now, in terms of this investigation, they're going to be piecing this all together with multiple videos at this point. And again, Scheffler's team maintains that this was a misunderstanding and that they will fight this, Kira.
Got it. Morgan,
all right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, what do you think about this? I am curious on all your thoughts. World-famous golfer, all this huge exposure, that this wouldn't have come out if he wasn't a world-famous golfer, and if he was just a regular Joe Blow, John Q. Public, he would be going into a trial facing felony charges. And this is serious stuff. I appreciate you. Subscribe to my channel. Share this video with everyone. And smash that like button. Smash it. Go ahead and smash away. I'm Leroy Truth, and I'll talk to you soon.